Most people prepare for emergencies the exact same way. They rush to buy rice, beans, canned meals, and within hours, those shelves are wiped clean. We saw it happen during COVID. We saw it after every major storm, every supply chain breakdown. But here's the problem no one talks about. When everyone prepares the same way, everyone runs out at the same time. After studying multiple crisis events and what actually disappeared from store shelves, I noticed something strange. There were always certain foods that nobody touched, not because they weren't useful, but because people simply overlooked them. Today, I'm going to show you 13 underrated survival foods that stayed available when everything else disappeared. Some are incredibly cheap. Some last for years. And a few might already be sitting in stores near you right now. Let's get into it. 13. Split lentils. Not all lentils are the same, but split lentils are one of the fastest cooking survival foods you can get. No soaking, no long wait. In under 20 minutes, you've got a protein-rich meal packed with fiber, iron, and slow-burning energy. They're light, cheap, and incredibly efficient when fuel or time is limited. 12. Clarified butter, ghee. Regular butter spoils quickly, sometimes within days without refrigeration. But clarified butter? Completely different story. Ghee can sit at room temperature for months without refrigerating. It's pure fat, which means dense, sustained energy, and it instantly upgrades any basic meal. Rice, bread, vegetables, even a spoonful alone can keep you going when options are limited. 11. Asian-style instant noodles. Forget basic cheap ramen. Higher quality noodles from international markets often include better ingredients, real seasoning, and dehydrated vegetables. They cook fast, require minimal water, and store long-term. Perfect when you need something hot, quick, and filling, with almost zero preparation. 10. Bulk. Salt isn't just about flavor, it's a survival tool. It helps maintain electrolytes, preserves other foods, and plays a role in basic wound care and food safety. Unlike almost everything else in your pantry, salt never expires. Stored properly, it lasts forever, and in a long-term crisis, it can become one of your most valuable resources for trade. 9. Chia seeds. Tiny, but deceptively powerful. When chia seeds absorb water, they expand and form a gel that slows digestion, keeping you full far longer than most foods of the same size. They're loaded with omega-3s, fiber, and protein. In a crisis where food needs to stretch, a small amount of chia can replace a much bigger meal. 8. Powdered milk. Stored properly. Most people store it wrong, and it spoils fast because of exposure to oxygen. But when sealed with oxygen absorbers, powdered milk can last decades. It gives you access to dairy when refrigeration is completely gone, for coffee, baking, or just basic nutrition. The key word here is stored properly. That's what separates a wasted purchase from a genuine long-term asset. 7. Textured vegetable protein, TVP. This might be the most underrated protein source in existence. Dry, lightweight, and shelf-stable for years. Once rehydrated, it mimics ground meat, and it works in almost any dish you'd normally cook with meat. Think chili, pasta sauce, tacos, and soups. It's cheap, efficient, and perfect for stretching meals further without losing the feeling of a real, satisfying dinner. 6. Whole wheat grains. Here's something most people miss. Flour goes bad within months, but whole grains? They can last decades when stored in airtight containers. When you grind them fresh, you get better nutrition and better flavor than anything that's been sitting in a bag on a shelf. It's one of the smartest long-term storage strategies, an investment that compounds over time. 5. Bouillon cubes. These tiny cubes don't look like much, but they can completely transform a meal. Rice, soup, and plain grains suddenly became rich and satisfying. Plus, they contain sodium, important for hydration balance, especially if you're physically active during a crisis. Small, light, and cheap, and they last for years. They earn their spot in any emergency kit. 4. Canned coconut milk. This is something most people ignore, and that's exactly why it's still on shelves when other things aren't. It's packed with medium-chain fats your body can convert to energy quickly, without needing much digestion. In cold conditions or when calorie intake is low, that fast energy makes a real difference. It also lasts years on the shelf and adds flavor and richness to otherwise bland emergency meals. 3. Raw honey is one of the oldest preserved foods in human history. Jars have been found in ancient tombs, still perfectly edible. It never spoils. It provides fast energy, has natural antibacterial properties, and has been used medicinally for centuries. A true multi-use survival staple. Sweetener, energy source, and first aid tool all in one. 2. Dehydrated potatoes. Lightweight, fast to prepare, and extremely filling. Dehydrated potatoes provide fast carbohydrates that restore energy quickly, which matters when you're under stress or physical strain. But here's the often overlooked reason they're at number 2. Comfort food matters in a crisis. When morale drops, and it will, a warm, familiar meal can do more for a family than people realize. Potatoes deliver that. 1. Nutritional yeast. This is the one that surprises almost everyone. Nutritional yeast adds a cheesy, rich, savory flavor to almost any dish, making bland survival food actually enjoyable. But the real reason it's number 1, it's one of the most complete nutritional supplements in dry form. Loaded with B vitamins, including B12, which is nearly impossible to get without meat or dairy, and packed with protein. When meals become repetitive, nutrition starts declining and morale hits the floor. This single ingredient addresses all 3 problems at once. That's why it earns the top spot. Here's the reality. In every crisis, it's not just about what you store. It's about what everyone else ignores. Because those overlooked items, they're the ones still sitting on shelves when everything else is gone. If you found this useful, share it with someone. Because real preparation isn't just about surviving, it's about staying one step ahead. This video is for educational purposes only. Always do your own research before making changes to your food storage plan.